Hello and welcome to the Corrupted Save podcast. I'm your host Anime. Joining me today, I just have Chris.
Hi.
Hi, Chris. We'll blast through the news, but first let's go to the comments section. Thanks to the people who commented on the previous episode and also on my Berserk video. Really helps me out. So Mr. 033 noticed the tendency that there were a lot of bears at E3, but he doesn't mind because they're a cool animal. Yes, they are.
I didn't watch a lot of E3 this year, mainly because I had to work a lot. But that's an odd thing to have a lot of at E3.
It was a bit of a coincidence. E3 was a while ago. I'm sure there were plenty of more bears there as well. This personal game for E3 was the Spider-Man. Shame on you for not agreeing with me. Everyone should agree with me. My opinions are grand.
I mean, the only game that I really cared about a lot was Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm so excited for that game. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, they show more Evo. Have you seen the images of the lines for Dragon Ball Fighters and the lines for Marvel?
Yeah, it's really funny. I've been watching some of the gameplay for it from Evo. Yeah, it's been it looks really Guilty Gear. Really excited for it.
Well, that's same dev, right?
Yeah, same developer, same art style. Looks like the combat flows similarly, but I guess it plays differently. Apparently, it's more similar to like Persona 4 Arena or something.
Oh, that's okay. So, yes, news. The Super Nintendo Mini was announced. We've got 21 games, which is an odd number, but then you realise one of them is the unreleased Star Fox 2, which I am interested in.
Well, I'm actually kind of excited for this, which is really sad considering in all likelihood I'm never going to be able to have one.
Oh yeah, I think the pre-orders have already gone up and they're already all sold out.
I know at least in like the EU ones went up and have been sold out. I'm not sure if they've become available in the US yet or in Canada, but I'm keeping an eye on that.
It's a bit odd that so the NES Mini had 30 games in it, but the Super Nintendo one only has 21. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't get it either, but
Are there not another 9 games you can think of for the that are good enough?
I mean, not off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are.
Well, let's go through it, and then we'll see if we can think of new ones.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list now. So we got Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Link to the Past, F-Zero, Super Metroid, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Punch-Out, Super Castlevania 4, Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar, Final Fantasy VI, Kirby's Dream Course, Star Fox, Star Fox 2, Yoshi's Island, Mario RPG, Contra 3, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Well, we could have the Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. So that's 20. That's 23.
Yeah, that seemed like the most obvious choices to me. Is if you're gonna have one of them, have the you might as well go ham with all of them. But you know,
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It should be Super Mario All-Stars and not just Super Mario World.
Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Which I learned fairly recently is a thing that exists.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, we had my brother has a Super Nintendo, and we had Mario All-Stars, but I had no idea that there's a different version of it.
ActRaiser.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I've never played it.
Oh, you don't know ActRaiser?
That's
probably it, though.
Yeah, I'm a
Ghost, not
relative child compared to most of the people who work who write for Rainfall.
Wow. The Zombies Ate My Neighbors? If you don't know ActRaiser, you probably not.
I've heard of that one.
Heard of that one.
Never played it, but I have heard of it.
Yeah, maybe they got a point. There aren't that many. That's kind of sad that the Super Nintendo only... I'm sure there's more obscure ones, but they wouldn't really be the ones bought. I mean, I guess Super Ghouls and Ghosts is a bit of a stretch. But then you come to the realization that you could just emulate all these, or it'd probably be cheaper to buy them all on the virtual console or whatever.
Yeah, what matters to me here is that I actually want to play more than half of the games here, unlike with the NES Mini where I might have cared about like 6 of them at most.
Yeah.
If what I'm expecting to happen
happens,
happens, and it's
Super Nintendo 64 Mini, and we'll have 5 games.
no, they need to they'll cut it down by 10 each time, so it'll have 11
10 and a half
maybe.
games. We'll have the unreleased beta for the F-Zero 64.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what's going to happen next year. But I mean, Nintendo did say that they're going to be increasing production run of this one, but I really don't think they're going to be increasing it by that much.
No, 5 extra units.
But hey, most of the people it seems like a lot of people who want one have already pre-ordered it, so maybe it'll be a bit less hectic when they go live in North America.
Maybe it will be like what happened with the Splatoon amiibos, where like a truck full got stolen. So maybe something like that will happen.
Yeah, and then there's another production run later after everybody who wants one gets the 3 of them for like $80. That's what happened to me. Like I got all 3 of them. Like I saw them at a con for $80 and was like, oh, that's cool. It was cheaper
What a
than
deal.
it is in most places. But then like it was shortly after that the next production run happened and you get the 3 of them for like $30.
Yeah.
And it's like I just felt so ripped off.
We've all done that. I've been there with like the Rosalina and Villager amiibo, spending way too much on those secondhand. That was the dumbest decision. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to just hold off and wait just a little bit longer to see if it gets reprinted.
Next story. A lot of Japanese developers have posted their PlayStation Store purchases, one of which is Yoko Taro, director of Nier Automata. Shall we go down the list of what he's got on his PlayStation 4 and critique his terrible taste in video games? Shall we do that?
Sounds like a plan.
The first one is Resogun, which is the side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game.
Oh, I like Resogun. That's a fun game.
It was like the only game on the PS4 for the longest time. Like it launched.
Yeah, I first played that at like an EB Games and it's like, oh man, this game is really fun, but I don't have a PS4. And then it came out on Vita and it's like, oh, that's awesome. Now I can actually play this game. And then I got a PS4 much later.
Next is Final Fantasy 15. I have not played that.
That's a game I'm waiting for it to come out on PC because I know what's going to happen eventually.
Really?
I've heard.
Maybe.
Yeah, most of the other Final Fantasy games are on PC, and they have discussed the possibility of it coming to PC without outright denying it. So I think it's gonna happen at some point.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I completely messed up with these titles that he has. He actually has little synopsis. I guess there was an interview where they discussed the games that he's bought. So I guess I'll talk about the Gravity Rush one. So this is what Yoko Taro had to say about Gravity Rush 1 and 2. This game was released for Vita, but occupies a slightly weird place as it is made in Japan with unique controls and in a toon art style. But it is not a moe game. I feel like recent Western titles are polarized into super AAA titles and indie games, but the Gravity Rush series is a game right around the middle of the two. By the way, I go out to drink with the director of Kaichiro Toyama once in a while, but the only image I have of him is him being drunk, and I can't help but think, how can a title like this come from a person like him?
I think people think that about most of the stuff that Yoko Taro makes. Although, to be fair, the only one I've played any of is Nier Automata, which I started playing recently on PC. It's great. I love it.
Issues on I hear the PC version's got issues.
Well, I installed a mod to fix it, but before I installed the mod, whenever I put the game in full screen, like it would be, first of all, it wouldn't actually be full screen. There'd be a really thick black border around it, and the screen was like jittery. It was like vibrating up and down really quickly, and I didn't really want to keep it like that for very long because I feared I might get like a fucking migraine or something. But once I installed the mod, it fixed it, and it doesn't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember Gravity Rush 2 has got a Nier Automata costume in it.
Oh really? That's interesting.
It's got as DLC. It's free DLC. I'm reading through his little synopsis of the games, and they all end the same way. So this is the Danganronpa series, an abnormal game where you kill people through a class trial. That game is Danganronpa. While it takes an orthodox form of an adventure-style game in terms of how it's illustrated in 2D, and main revolves around conversations, the game pulls you right into it with its cinematography and the great tempo of the scenario. By the way, I go out to drink with the scenario writer Kazutaka Kadaka. Once in a while too, but when I saw his piercing eyes that appear as though he doesn't trust anyone around him, I thought, he does seem like the person that would create a mad game like Danganronpa. So, is there just a clique of niche Japanese game producers and they all go out drinking all the time?
Yeah, they just like all go out drinking together in a huge group.
That's great. There is a game called Remember Me that was released for the PS3. It has great artistic taste, and I have awarded it my personal most visually beautiful game on PS3 award, and the company that created that game is Don't Nod Entertainment in France. And as a new title from that studio, I just can't help but pay attention to. Wait, what is this graphic? The direction is completely different. This surprise was how I met Life is Strange. In sharp contrast to Remember Me, this title is about life in school in a quiet city. This title is great, with many small youthful moments scattered around the game, within the boundaries of restricted expression. By the way, Remember Me is still not localized into Japanese. When is it going to be localized?
Remember Me? That's not a game that you hear people talking about very much. I also heard it wasn't that good.
No, I don't think it was.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess the aesthetic between Remember Me and Life is Strange is pretty similar. Again, I don't know that much about either game, though.
It's odd that that game wouldn't be localized for Japanese, though. I mean, it was a IDOS title, wasn't it?
I thought it was Capcom.
No way. If it was Capcom...
Wait, Remember Me or Life is Strange?
It was Capcom! Holy crap!
Yeah, it's Capcom.
That's interesting.
I remember that.
I wonder if Remember Me Lady will be in Capcom Infinite. That's the
character that everybody is hoping for.
Hey, I'm gonna
Capcom Infinite.
include her and Chaos Legion Man in all future Capcom Infinite speculation DLC.
From what I've seen, it's kind of cyberpunk, similar to how like kind of in a similar way to Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge looks kind of similar to Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
Which I've played some of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's a fun game, but I would not recommend it if you're prone to getting motion sickness.
I would not recommend it if you're. I'm a big Mirror's Edge original fan. Huge. I love that game to death. And I hate what they did with Catalyst. The fact that there's an upgrade system is the worst thing in the world, because it limits your movement options. Imagine if you booted up Mario 64 and Mario didn't have the butt stomp, the slide, or the dive, or the wall jump, or the side jump, or the backflip, and you have to unlock them all by getting coins. It's like, instead of having all your movement options unlocked from the start, and then building interesting levels around it, you then have to buy all your different individual abilities, and then have generic levels that have to cater to you not having certain abilities. Because what if I don't want to get into. Let's talk about Yoko Taros some more. The last one he has is The Last Guardian. I've waited 7 years. 7! I love Fumito Ueda's creations, but I didn't think that I would play after waiting 7 years since it was announced. The finished game was beautiful to the very last detail, and the content was like a gem. This is a game that I ended up feeling happy to have been able to play while I was still alive.
While I was still alive, that's somewhat foreboding.
He's a very melodramatic and melancholy man, that Yoko Taro.
Yeah, I kind of get that feeling after, like, even just with the bit that I've played of Nier Automata, kind of just get that feeling that that's how he is.
Or in interviews, he's always talking about, look at all these other really big games that are releasing the same time as my game. I'm gonna be homeless soon. We'll talk about Anime Expo a bit. Did you know any of the news at Anime Expo?
Rewrite Plus is being done by Sekai Project, which is honestly something I'm really not sure how I feel about it.
What's Rewrite? That name sounds familiar, but it could just be...
It's the second most recent visual novel by Key.
Key, I know for...
Clannad, Little Busters,
yeah, okay.
Angel Beats, yeah. Rewrite it came after Little Busters. It's and you know, it obviously never got released in English before, but there was a fan translation of it, and when it was first announced that it was getting localized at like Anime Central last year, the guy who did the fan translation announced that he was involved with the official release, but I guess he's not anymore. So I'm not sure what happened there. Like, I'm actually really confused about the announcement in general, because it was originally announced by Visual Arts, but now it's Sekai Project that's doing it. I'm not exactly clear on what's going on, but you know, as long as it's still good, it doesn't matter.
Anything else? Any other news that you remember from Anime Expo?
Well, there's that RPG with the art done by the guy who did the art for Senran Kagura, where the big tagline is they've got the Senran Kagura artist actually doing porn now.
Ooh! What's that game? It's a visual novel as well, right?
It's an RPG, actually.
Oh,
it's
snap.
called Evenical. It's an Alicesoft game. They also did the Rants series, I think. You got Manga Gamer going into game development, which is interesting, with Koropakur, which is it has art by Yutaro Hinoe, who did character design for a bunch of Keys games. She did character design for Air, Canon, Clannad, Little Busters, some of the characters in Rewrite, I think.
The stuff that I was interested in at Anime Expo was the game Machine Child. It is a Princess Maker-like game, but instead of raising a princess from the ground up to be a sweetheart, you are instead raising an android, which I think is a much cooler concept. And from the screenshots, it looks as though you can change the appearance and customize the android a lot more than you could the princesses in, say, the Princess Maker games or Long Live the Queen, because in those, you really could only factor in what sort of outfit she was wearing when she grew up. So we'll see what happens in Machine Child. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It looks interesting.
I'm a fan of the Princess Maker games.
It looks interesting. I haven't played any of the other games like that, though.
Have you not played any at all, or...?
No, I haven't played like Princess Maker or Long Live the Queen or anything like that at all.
They're really good, and like they're easily accessible now. They're starting to get translated, and you can pick up them on Steam. And they usually go on sale, so it's not too bad.
I remember seeing them on Steam.
The Little Witch Academia game also was announced for a Western release at Anime Expo.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of want to watch Little Witch Academia because, you know, it's Trigger, and I like Trigger.
Yeah,
so.
It's just a weird release order of which you have to watch like 2 OVAs, and then there's a movie, and then there's the Kickstarter animated series. It's all over the place. You need a guide to know what to watch and when.
I thought the series was just an adaptation of the movie.
I'm not too sure about that. I mean, the movie is obviously very short. I think it's only like 25 minutes or something. I'd have to look it. But it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks just like the show. And I don't mean like that as like a bullet point in the back of the box. It literally does look the same way that those South Park Stick of Truth games look identical to the show. This looks identical to the show. It's really impressive.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, seeing really well done cell shading like that is always interesting. I mean, it's the main reason why I'm so excited for Dragon Ball Fighters. Because I mean, like with Dragon Ball Fighters, you also like they've also like people have done comparisons of like stills from the game compared to panels from the manga and screenshots from the anime, and like the way the characters look during their attack animations, like even just for normal attacks, look just like the way they fight in the manga and the anime. It looks awesome.
And it's good that they didn't like compromise the style with the systems like those JoJo fighting games usually do.
Oh yeah,
played any of those?
I've played the demo for the most recent one. It's weird.
Eyes of Heaven.
It's
Eyes
a really
of Heaven isn't
weird
bad.
game.
It's like a 3D Anarchy Reigns-esque beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's.
I can't remember what the other fighter was called.
The other most recent one is it's All-Star Battle, right?
All-Star Battle. That is correct. Like they try to make it look like the manga by when you're separated, like you're both full screen, like the camera will sort of tilt, so it looks like that panel where Jotaro's walking towards Dio. But it doesn't work, especially when the abysmal loading times and overly long attack animations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm amazed with how well they seem to have made it work with Dragon Ball Fighters, because, I mean, the Guilty Gear system is really suited to really fast-paced combat, so I guess it's not really difficult to make it work like that. And also, I like how like, throws aren't really a thing in Dragon Ball, so they just replaced it with a different system entirely.
What does it change it to? I don't really know about that.
It's kind of like dusts from Guilty Gear, if you know what those are.
No.
It's just a launcher basically, but it's unblockable. Yeah.
What anime would you want the Guilty Gear devs to make a game out of, like Dragon Ball Fighters?
I think one series that'd be really well suited to having a fighting game made of it would be I don't know if it'd be better suited for a fighting game or a beat 'em up, but I think a series with a lot of untapped game potential is Fairy Tail. Like I think that would. Like that series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, Fairy Tail, whatever, but I think it would be pretty suited to have it to a fighting game. And there are Fairy Tail games, but I think they're not very good.
I think you're thinking too much in the box. You got to think outside of the box. Death Note, the fighting game. There's that scene where L and Light fight, so why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would
everyone,
work, I think.
You could have like. L and then, Light, and then Ryuk could be a striker. It'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Or,
you have to collect letters to write down your opponent's name. It's like Phoenix Wright in Marvel 3, where he has to find evidence in the fight. But you have to collect letters, like a Sesame Street game, to spell out your opponent's name. That's it.
Wow.
Pay me.
What about a Fate fighting game? Wait, that's happened already.
Yeah, but there needs to be a good one.
There's...
Fate is actually...
I think Fate Unlimited Codes was alright.
Was that the PSP one? I know there's a
yes,
PSP fight.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. A Fate...
I think Noragami could make a decent fighting series. Yeah, I also think that Noragami could make a decent fighting game. Noragami is the one... It's... Like, the main character... Like, a lot of the main characters are gods, and then they've got... Like, the regalia, they're basically partners who follow them, who go with them, and then they use them as weapons to fight against these phantom creatures. I'm describing it really badly, but it is one of my favorite anime series.
Back to Anime Expo, the last localization that I was interested in was Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters, which is, I believe it's made by the same team who makes One Chambara. It's the zombie shooter where you're the high school girls and the zombies rip off your clothes. It's that one. I think it has a Senran Kantroversy.
Which one like that is that? That's really not a... That really
maybe not.
Particularly unique.
Shit. They're all the same. No.
Also, can I just say that Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters a really terrible title?
It is. I'm pretty sure the original title is something better. Let's find out.
I'm pretty sure it was that in Japanese, too.
Maybe. But it sounded cooler in Japanese. Oh, snap. It is just called Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter, but its acronym is SG Lightning Bolt ZH. So
yeah,
it sounds
Schoolgirl / Zombie Hunter. Schoolgirl divided by Zombie Hunter, maybe, I don't know. It's actually meant to be a fraction. That's the big secret. With, that's the big twist in Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters. It's actually
SG
Schoolgirl
_H.
divided by Zombie Hunter.
This is a news item. I don't need a post for you, but the Senran Kantroversy. That was when the what website was it that posted the interview?
PlayStation Lifestyle. You mean the one where he was taken out of context and I think kind of mistranslated in saying that he has considered toning down
these things.
I think everybody was making a mountain out of a molehill with that. I really don't like to say that they're like anybody can say they're considering something.
All right, we'll back up. Well, what's the what is the story what is this non-story that we have here? So, freaking, here we go. Kenichiro Takaki, who is he created Senran Kagura, let's say that. He's producers? Or is he the director on those games?
Producer, I believe.
So he's the producer of the Senran Kagura series, and he recently had an interview with PlayStation Lifestyle, and it could be quoted, mistranslated, whatever, but the takeaway from it was that he had considered toning down the Senran Kagura series going forward, and there was a big controversy with people getting angry that it's because of the West, or changing it for the West to tone it down and censoring and all this malarkey.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, anybody can say like they're considering something or it's worth considering something, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything on its own without like any definitive sign of action, especially considering that statement seems to go against everything that Takaki stands for, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, let's not forget that this is a man who signs off all the games he makes with righteous boobage.
I'll read the quote. Hang on. PlayStation Lifestyle asked whether he and/or the studio have considered implementing an option for toning down the game's busty female characters. Kenichiro replied, "A little bit. The game started out very small, and that was the big selling point in order to move units. Now that the franchise has grown and is getting more popular, it might be worth considering having features that differ depending on where it is being sold. That way, it might be able to sell better in certain regions where it would be problematic to have that kind of content." So use my death word, problematic.
Yeah, he used everybody's favorite buzzword.
The buzzword. Or maybe he didn't use that, but that's what was translated to. Wasn't there, like, one of the Senran Kagura games was banned from Germany? Or am I misremembering it right? One of them?
It could be, I'm not sure. I don't really follow games that are banned in Germany that much.
A lot of them are banned in Germany. I'll just type Senran Kagura banned, and it'll probably either be Germany or New Zealand.
I was thinking Australia, but I'm guessing New Zealand is around the same level of draconian with its release policies.
No, nothing like that. Okay, I guess I'm misremembering it wrong, but Twitch banned Senran Kagura Festival from being streamed.
I think it banned it briefly, but I don't think it's banned anymore.
No. I think you're allowed to stream it, but you're not allowed to go into the model poser thing.
Yeah, I think people made enough of a stink about it that they went back on that.
And Marvelous's official YouTube account was banned one time last year.
Oh, wonderful.
The producer also added, however, there are also reviews that ignore the game due to sexual content and write it off from the start, so those aren't very helpful. If you're going to write it off due to a main component of the game, that game just isn't for you, and that review isn't really useful as feedback. Now, I wanted to make an editorial about this controversy, but I knew it wasn't a good idea to do it immediately while the story was developing, because, hey, it turns out like 2 days later everything was cleared up.
Yeah, it turns out 2 later it's like, no, don't worry, it's fine. We're gonna keep it the way it is.
Yeah, Marvelous Games, shout out to Marvelous Games, talked about how they wouldn't censor anything They're the UK branch of Marvelous Games. And then Kenshiro himself went on Twitter and said, I don't want to change anything for overseas, everyone should get the same content. So, a big old nothing of a story that turned out to be. But I was thinking, I was going to talk about how his games are treated in the West, and if the story was going to progress that yes, he was going to change or tone down content, then I was going to assume it was because people are just trashing his game, and how depressing and disheartening it is when you're working on a game and putting your time and energy into it, and then just to have it written off, especially with the quote from official Nintendo UK magazine, where it was just trashing the game, saying, the game is about smuggling watermelons up your t-shirts, yada yada yada.
Oh yeah, that's just hilarious to me.
Yeah, so that's a professional magazine. Your job to review these games. Thank you.
Hilarious until you remember that it's a professional review that's supposed to be taken seriously. And there doubtless are a lot of people who do take it seriously, which is just sad.
Well, I would actually defend him toning it down because, as he says, that was a big selling point for the series, and now that it's kind of established itself, I think because every game it feels like wanted to one-up the fan service. It seems. I mean, it's kind of culminated in Peach Beach Splash, where everyone is bikinis and shooting water at everyone, having water fights, which is fun and all. But the Switch game that he's announced looks a lot more. It already looks very toned down. It looks like a much more intimate game rather than, like, I don't think we'll see like people cutting up clothes or whatever on the Switch game, because it's only got.
Are you talking about the one that just has Asuka in it?
And yeah, that one.
It as pure and healthy.
Yeah, I think that's what he means by toning down the series a bit, expanding the game, his series, instead of just having, you know, lots of fan service all the time. Maybe a bit more of an intimate game with the Asuka one, which looks to me like it's going to be very similar to Summer Lesson, maybe, where it's like a dating game. Maybe we'll see when gameplay comes out. So maybe that's what he means when he talks about toning down. That's my opinion, but
maybe. Don't they have other like Senran Kagura games in the works? Like, aren't there 2 games in the works for the Switch? I remember seeing that somewhere recently. I don't know. Who knows?
It probably is just going to be a port of Peach Beach Splash, probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if releasing that on the Switch would be great, because I mean, it would need to compete with Splatoon, which is more established on Nintendo at least. But I don't know. I guess more competition on a platform is never a bad thing.
And that's the news. I'll move on to the waifu of the week. The waifu of the week this week is, oh dear, it's Momo Yaoyorozu. How do you pronounce this name, Chris? Please help. Momo Yaoyorozu. Right?
Momo Yaoyorozu. I don't know who that is.
Have you watched My Hero Academia?
I haven't.
You should. Everyone should watch My Hero Academia. It is a wonderful series. She looks like a Samurai Showdown character.
Okay. Oh, she's voiced by Colleen Clinkenbeard in English. Cool. She also voiced Riza Hawkeye. Yeah, I'm familiar with. She's a good voice actor, and that's actually a good fit. I'm watching it subbed. Maybe I'll go back and watch it dubbed. She's really good. Her power is she has the ability to create things out of her body. I don't know, I haven't seen it in action yet. She like melts skin or flesh off of her and it can turn into whatever she wants. Amazing. It is. So that's why she's really cool. I do need to watch that at some point. Just that I got things I need to do, man. Prepare to cry if you watch My Hero Academia, because it's surprisingly emotional. I think it's a guy thing, because freaking heroism and doing the right thing. Maybe that's something that's very ingrained in me. I don't know. That sort of thing makes me really emotional.
It's like,
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, you watched One Punch Man, surely?
Yes, I've watched One Punch Man.
Did you tear up when Moomin Rider stands up to the Sea King?
I didn't tear up, but it was a very manly moment. Yes.
That's what the show is. Chris confirmed not having a soul. How could you not just bawl your eyes out at that scene? The piano
Because my
and the
standards
kids
for
telling
what
him
is-
to
for-
go for it.
My standards for things being sad are pretty much defined at this point by key, so that's kind of a high bar to meet.
Next up, what have you been playing? Anything, Chris? What have you been playing? Tell me something.
I've mostly been playing ARMS on the Switch.
How's ARMS?
And
you only get one.
ARMS
Okay,
is-
talk about one.
ARMS is kind of weird because I dislike almost everything about it except for the core gameplay.
What about the
Like I
character
really
design,
like how
though?
the game. Oh, the character design's cool.
There you go.
I really like the way the game plays though. Like I like the fighting mechanics. It has, it's very unique. It has a very rhythmic feel to it, but at the same time, I don't like the way it's packaged. Like I don't like the way you unlock ARMS in that game is absolutely atrocious.
How do you unlock ARMS?
So you need to collect money first by playing playing other modes like Versus, Online, the Grand Prix mode, and then you go into this target practice mode where occasionally new arms will float by in the background and you need to punch them.
Is it like a Smash Brothers minigame when you got to get new trophies? Is it like that?
Yeah, kinda. Except it's for unlocking basically new characters, and you need to unlock arms separately for each character.
Oh no.
And it's completely random.
So you're
Now,
saying
there
this
is
game
no way
isn't
to-
tournament viable?
It is though. Once you have a setup that you like, it's it becomes very, very enjoyable and quite competitive to play online. It's tournament viable as long as you have the right stuff unlocked for you, which obviously is going to vary depending on how you like to play and just who you are in general.
Do you prefer using the motion controls or the standard controls?
I mostly play the game in handheld mode, so I've just gotten really used to the button controls. The motion controls actually work surprisingly well, but I just don't usually play the Switch docked, so it's just not
Are you
practical.
forced to use the motion controls if you dock it?
You're forced to use it if you have the controllers separate. If you have them attached to the Switch, or if you have them on the grip, then you can play it with buttons. But if you have the Joy-Cons separated, then you're forced to use motion controls.
Do you have a favorite character?
Yes, I have been spending most of my time playing as Twintel. I really like her time slowing down ability, and I think I really like the way she plays, and also it doesn't hurt that she has a really nice ass.
Mm.
But when I first started, I played as Ribbon Girl, but I have gotten too used to playing as Twintel. I just can't really deal with Ribbon Girl anymore. It also took me I still haven't unlocked the arms that I want for her yet. I've unlocked almost all of them, and I keep not getting the Revolver, the Retorture, which are the two that I want to have with her. I really like arms, but I also don't like it that much. It's weird.
Is it just the unlock system that you don't like about ARMS?
That, and also I feel like it could have more single-player content. It doesn't have a story mode or anything. It just has the Grand Prix. But I like playing multiplayer. I like just playing the combat in the game. It feels really good.
I have been playing Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast HD. It is a PC. Well, actually, it was released on PC and the Xbox and PlayStation 2, and is a combination of Outrun 2 and Outrun 2 Special Edition. It is, if you're not familiar with the Outrun games, they are they're a racing time trial arcade game where you drive along the road and you drift and you have your girlfriend in the car, you listen to some sweet tunes, and you gotta You gotta drift around corners and reach the checkpoints in time and choose a route. There are routes you can go all around the map, and they determine whether you go to, I don't know, a jungle or the mountains or Casino Night Zone. There's a place that looks identical to Casino Night Zone. It has little Sega and Sonic motifs, because this is a Sega game. Mine is definitely bugged because I have it on the PC, and every time I quit out, it deletes my save. So that was really good to find out after I spent like 2.5 hours grinding another girl. I mean, no. I mean, no. You have to. There's a mode. There's a girlfriend mode. We'll call it girlfriend mode. Where you have to go out with a girl in your car, and she'll give you all sorts of special conditions. Like she'll say, "Oh, avoid all the cars," or drift around this or whatever, and she'll rank you. And there's also ones like, "Oh, avoid getting abducted and watch out for meteorites." So she'll rank you, and once you get an average rating of A in all the events, you'll unlock another girl. So that's what I was working towards before my game save wiped. But I found out there's a cheat code, because this game was made before cheat codes were removed from all games, so you can get the 100% cheat and unlock everything. So that's Outrun 2006. Are you familiar? You're familiar with the Alluring and Abhorrent? That's what it is.
Yes. I didn't prepare for this.
That's
you
okay.
go first.
Fine. My Alluring is I've recently subscribed to like a little a subscription box. Okay, it's filled with Japanese item snacks and food and stuff. The package came with a can of Boss Coffee, which I haven't opened and I will never open, because Boss Coffee is one of the items that you can buy in the Yakuza series, and it's been in there since the first game. Boss Rainbow Mountain Blend, and I'm happy to have it's in a cute little mini can, and it's gonna go right next to my Yakuza games and my Kiryu Figma. I'm really happy that I have a can of Boss Coffee now. My
nice
abhorrent is overly long YouTube intros. While I was looking for a fix for my Outrun save being deleted, I looked up the cheats and I found one on YouTube, and it was a 1:20 intro for this YouTube channel, and it was the worst. It was the worst. It was some remix of His World from Sonic, and it was just weird gameplay clips with filters and titles of like Sonic 2006. It was really bizarre and terrible, but kind of captivating at the same time. And the minute is, I mean, the video is only 3 minutes 20 seconds long, and the intro takes up what feels like half of that. My
Alluring for this is how much have you seen of Splatoon 2?
Enough. Like, I haven't really seen any gameplay of it, but I've been keeping up with it.
Okay, so my Alluring is, well, for Splatoon,
it's the Octoling girl, isn't it?
Yes, well, I'm getting to that. But the Splatfest thing starts today, so I'm going to be playing that. But yes, it is Marina. She is just lovely. I like her a lot, as I think everybody does on the internet.
Well, she doesn't really have that much competition. Pearl is a weird gremlin monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just that, though. I think it's really cool that, like, one of the main characters in Splatoon 2 seems to be an Octoling, which were the enemies in the first game.
Yeah, that's weird. But are the Octolings the bad guys? They're like salmon monsters in Splatoon 2.
Yeah, it seems like it. So, we'll see. But I just think it's interesting that they went that way, instead of just having two squids like they did before. And my abhorrent is, I was talking about it before, but it's the unlock system in ARMS. Okay. So I just sent an image in the Discord that, I don't know, you can put up in the video.
Yeah.
It's all of the things that I've unlocked with Ribbon Girl. And anything where you can see the little plus sign is something that I've unlocked twice and gotten an upgrade on. And the two highlighted squares are the things that I actually want, and I haven't gotten them yet. I've gotten almost everything else, but I haven't gotten the 2 arms that I actually want yet.
So does that mean you need to get each one twice for it to be the best upgrade of it?
Yeah, to be the best, but I mean, it's not like it's unusable. The upgrade doesn't really improve it that much. But I mean, in a competitive game, any edge that you can get is always a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a huge boost, but obviously it does make it better, so it's worth getting, but I just haven't gotten them at all yet. I haven't gotten the Revolver or the Retorture, and like the really sad thing is I've gotten a bunch of stuff that I really like for characters that I don't use and characters that I don't enjoy using.
So when you unlock something, does it only unlock it for? So say you're in the mini game or whatever. Will it come up? This is what you got, and this is who it's for, or will it only be for like the person you've got equipped?
You can get when you're playing it as a character, you can get stuff for everybody. Like, cause it floats by in the background in a box and it has a character's icon on it, and that's who it's going to be an arm for. So like I can see something floating by and it's like, oh, that's, say, Master Mummy's icon. I'm gonna unlock something for Master Mummy, who's a character that I don't play, and I don't enjoy playing as Master Mummy. So it's basically just gonna be a waste.
Our last segment is, why don't I ask a question? What's the weirdest video game spin-off you can think of? I was recently thinking of the Mario X Rabbids spin-off game and how that doesn't make any sense in life. So I was thinking, what are some other examples of some weird spin-offs to the game series?
Oh, weird spin-offs. Well, I learned. I don't know if it really counts because it's an anime series, but I learned not long ago that the series Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha. That's a spin-off.
Yeah.
That's a spin-off
of
the Triangle Heart game series.
Oh.
Which I think is an Arrowgay series, and apparently Nanoha is actually a character in the last Triangle Heart game, and like I think the other games kind of like star her family maybe. Like it's so weird that like nobody knows about Triangle Heart, but everybody knows about Nanoha. Like it's a well-known magical girl series because it's, you know, an unusual magical girl series. It's kind of a military sci-fi.
One thing, what's another one? Oh, Metal Gear Acid. The Metal Gear Solid card game, stealth card game.
Oh, that's weird.
It's kind of like a top-down grid-based thing where you put down cards to move and activate certain abilities.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of more now. Silent Hill, the arcade game. What could be a more stark contrast from this oppressive survival horror game with depressing storylines throughout than this game that has a really cheesy storyline and is just about gunning down enemies?
It's great. I love that that's a thing. I mean, if you're talking about weird spin-offs, like, I mean, Pokemon, like the Pokemon series is practically a study in weird spin-off games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got really weird shit like Hey You Pikachu, like the really experimental with
that can kind of fall into play of like the world that, yes, people communicate with Pokemon in the Pokemon universe, so that kind of makes sense.
Yes, but it's still a weird spin-off. You're just like running around talking to Pikachu.
What doesn't make any sense as a Pokemon game is the Pokemon Ranger series, where you use spinning tops and circle around Pokemon very fast in order to capture them. That doesn't make any sense. Is that a better way of capturing Pokemon than battling them normally?
I don't know, maybe. There's Learn with Pokemon Typing Adventure.
That's maybe the listeners can think of some more as well. Post them in chat, and not chat, in the comments section.
I mean, as far as spin-offs go, like I think there's a mobile fighting game in the Danganronpa series.
I tell you one, Dead or Alive Extreme. You go from this fighting game, and then it's like a vacation simulator. That is a weird spin-off.
Yeah, that's that is pretty weird. Oh no, it's not a. The Danganronpa thing is not a fighting game. It looks like it's a tower defense game.
Oh no.
I also learned fairly recently that Nier is a spin-off of the Drakengard series.
Yes. For lack of better knowledge, I think Nier, Drakengard, and Ace Combat. No, that can't be true. No, Ace Combat's Bandai. No, I think I'm just misremembering. But yeah, the
Ace Combat?
No, ignore me. I think there's jet planes in one of the endings, and that probably made me misremember. But one of the endings for Drakengard, you end up in the real world, and then that real world gets screwed over, and then that goes into Nier.
The only part of that series that I have any experience with is Nier Automata. So
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I like Shadow the Hedgehog a lot.
Why?
Because okay, I played that game when I was a kid.
That makes sense.
And
oh, Shadow's so cool.
I don't think it's a good game at all. I really don't think it's a good game, but I still enjoy playing it. I think the gameplay is fun. Yeah, I feel like there's one that I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was for the life of me.
It's Persona. You're thinking about Persona.
I mean, Persona is kind of a weird spin-off, I guess. Taking a series that's about like post-apocalyptic worlds with demons and turning it into a high school setting. But I mean, it didn't really do much with that setting until Persona 3.
Yeah.
I mean, who remembers Persona 1 and 2 anymore anyway?
People remember. They remember them because Persona 5 has costumes for them. All 27 elements that Persona 1 had.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous the amount of elements that the first 3 Persona games have. It's like the second one also has like 15 of them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, Persona 5 kind of has a lot as well, but it's not
really.
It's not on the same level as the earlier games.
What we have, it has the same amount as Persona 3. Because Persona 3 had 3 different variants of physical attack, and then what? 6 elemental.
Persona 5 has the 2 different kinds of physical attacks. You got physical and gun. And then for magic, you got fire, ice, electric, wind, psychokinesis, nuclear, bless, and curse. And like the main thing that I'm thinking is that, yeah, I'm not counting Almighty. Almighty is basically non-elemental. But like the big thing that is different about Persona 5 is that bless and curse aren't just instant kill moves. They actually have
I was happy about that.
Damage skills. Oh yeah, I really like that too. But it's still more than Persona 3 had. I think it's 1 more if you're.
No, yeah, it's just 1 more.
Yeah.
If you count gun.
It's still not as many as Persona 1 or 2, though.
No, nowhere near, and I hope they never do go that high again. This is a good amount. Keep it as this many.
Hold on, let's see how many there are in Persona 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? It's only 11. Oh, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Why are there 5? Why are there 5 different kinds of physical skills? Oh my god.
Read them off. Read everything off.
Alright, so if we're only counting damage spells, you got Fire, Water, Wind, Earth, Ice, Electric, Nuclear, Almighty, which is not just non-elemental in this game. Light and Darkness, but they're only instant kill, I think. Oh no, they're damage as well. And you also got non-elemental. And you got the 3 different classes of ailment skills. And you got...
They're status effects, I don't count those.
Yeah, and for physical, you got Sword, Ranged, Strike, Thrown, and Havoc.
What's Havoc?
I have no idea.
It's just Havoc damage.
It's... Oh, it's... Bites,
What?
Claw, Bash, Tackle, Strike, Assault, Dive, Wing
It's
Flap,
probably for animal companions or party members.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so many. Okay, let's look at Persona 1 then.
Oh god, that's
Because
gonna be...
so many people love and remember Persona 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... What? Oh, wait, okay, 9, 10? Maybe? Why are there... Okay, sure, 10.
I remember Gravity. Gravity being 1.
Yeah, there's Gravity. 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, maybe?
1,
But I
2,
mean, like,
3...
Light and Darkness, you got divided into four different types that all have different things that they do. Yeah, it's
There's
all over the
a lot.
place. I'm so glad that they condensed it in the later games.
That was a good example of toning down the game. See, I brought it back.
Yeah, you brought it back real nicely.
So, well, and on that bombshell, we'll end it here. Thank you for listening to the Corrupted Save Podcast, episode 4, 4 No More. Well, what's coming up on the site? Did you have anything that's coming out? You mentioned the review.
Yeah, I'm working on a review of Dalsenio, and closer to when Little Busters is coming out, we've got stuff in the works for that, including an editorial that may make some people angry.
Ooh.
So that's going to be lovely.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, not to give too much away, but it does involve me playing through all of Little Buster's Ecstasy for the sex scenes. So that's just lovely.
Mm-hmm. I have in the pipeline a lot of stuff. I have a whole text document of all my ideas, but I haven't picked anything yet, so we'll find out. It's probably going to be a buried treasure. I'll pick something right now. Why not? Then I'm forced to do it. The next thing I'm going to work on is... I'll do a spotlight of Deadly Creatures on the Wii. It's one of the last acting roles that Dennis Hopper ever did was working on Deadly Creatures. Look forward to that.
Have fun with that. I never
will.
played, but I've seen videos and it looks just lovely. It looks amazing.
Oh yeah. So, that's a goodbye from me.
Bye.
And it's a goodbye from him. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
From the eastern sky to the east streets you carry on. So you go as far as you can go. Keep on, don't go too far, because I think you do a right for you. I'll make sure